What is good, you guys? We are back for another episode of the Don't Do Stupid Shit podcast, hosted by myself, Joshua, Janitor Jesh, whatever you want to call me, and my mother, Christina, or mom, Tina.
Hey, all.
Today, we got a special guest, my boy, Jodye Bravo. What's good, my boy? Welcome. A little round of
Good, brother.
applause,
Thank you.
you know?
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, for those of y'all that don't know who Jodye is from Cleveland, Ohio. He has his own clothing brand, Bravowrldwide. He's been doing pretty good with that. He's a very creative individual, and I've known you for maybe a year and a half, 2 years now.
Yes, definitely. It's probably going on 2 years.
Yeah, I think we met through another good friend of mine who y'all have heard on this podcast, Brennan. Y'all, I don't even know to this day. How did y'all connect?
So, you know Highway, right? The rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I had sent Highway some clothes, and he had did a video in them, and he had posted it, and Brennan had seen it, and he had DM me, like, bro, your clothes, fire, boom, boom. He's like, I'm trying to get some. So I had sent him some clothes, but only size I had, the biggest size I had in some pants at that time was a 36, and they didn't fit him. He actually fucking ripped them, putting them on.
Brennan, you need to get in the gym, my boy.
Yeah, so then we got cool. Then he was just like, we were just talking in DM all night. Like, for my time, it was super late because I'm 3 hours ahead of y'all. But we were just talking all night. And he was like, yeah, I live in Seattle. He was like, whenever you want to come out to Seattle, you come stay at my place. I said, for sure. And then he asked me to DJ his event. I was a missing opportunity to go out there.
Yeah, I remember that because I didn't know who you were obviously until Brennan told me who you were, and then I remember you came out to Seattle for his album release party.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I met you for the first time, and you were staying at his little spot, right? The little what would you outdoor house or a mother-in-law? He had a little mother-in-law at up the road, Mom.
Oh yeah. I remember.
So Jodye stayed there for a good week or a weekend or whatever.
It's like one of the mini houses.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But you've been back a couple times since. I remember we linked up
sure.
at the, what was it? Toe Jam. The event where 100K, all those guys were performing, Highway performed. But
that's what I'm saying with Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny made it. Shout out Johnny made it.
For
One
sure.
of those fire producers in Seattle, for sure.
Definitely.
Mom, you have no clue who any of these people are.
I don't, but I'm learning. Like, I'm just enjoying the conversation.
For sure. Yeah, bro, I'm curious. So you're obviously from Cleveland. You have your own clothing brand. What was kind of growing up for you in Cleveland like?
Growing up was cool. I ain't gonna lie. Growing up was fun for real. Like, it wasn't like the safest. I was in the inner city, so I was like staying in the hood. But like, it got like a bad rate. It was fun when I was younger, bro. It was super fun. Like,
was you a bad kid? Or was you more kind of out the way?
I won't say I was bad. I was just curious. Like, I think I had ADHD. Cause I would just I would finish my work fast and then just start doing. When you finish your work fast and you the only one, you just doing dumb stuff. You trying to talk to people. I won't say necessarily I was bad. I was just curious.
Yeah, that's us. You sound like you're smart. That's what I find is the underpinning of curious is intellectual and smart. So, yeah.
Which, I mean, you saying that, I feel like I can relate a lot to. We've talked about this. My mom knows, obviously, but when I was in school and shit, I would always finish my work early, and I found it too easy almost.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it was.
Yeah, so I would have a lot of free time, which then, a lot of the times I would get in trouble because I would take that free time and just mess around, try different stuff, do dumb stuff, and it was
Yeah.
really, it all kind of broke down to the fact that, I just found it too easy. I was bored, you know?
Yeah. Being smart can lead you to do dumb stuff.
For
Like
sure. For sure.
that's what it was. I was doing a lot of dumb shit. Like it was literally just dumb. Shit. My granny, she taught me how to sew when I was 12. So
Oh,
Oh, that's
like,
okay.
fantastic. I love that.
yeah. My dad had a bunch of like big ass clothes, like 2X, XL, 3X. Well, not really 3X, but 2X, XL. And he had a lot of cool shit. So I used to just take his clothes, bring them to my granny house, and she would help me taper them. Like I would cut them, and then she'd help me sew them to my size. And that
Mm,
was like the first thing I ever really like that was like my entry into it. Like the first time I ever did anything.
yeah.
And it was like I won't say it was weird, but like, every Christmas and birthday you get in video games, like you feel me? Stuff in that range, video games, phones, whatever. But when I was like 14, I had asked my parents for a sewing machine.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
fire. Those are, I feel like those are the things that like kind of set certain people apart when they're younger and like kind of
Mhm.
cultivating a direction for where they're going to end up going in life. I mean, at
Hmm.
least career and passion wise, some kids, like you said, they get Xboxes, video games, toys. Um, Certain kids get athletic gear because they're really driven in the sports athletic kind of vision. But then there's people like you wanted a sewing machine. That's a very
Yeah.
kind of unique gift.
I think it was
Hmm.
karma. Cause when I was in like seventh grade. It was the first day of school. You gotta go to school. You gotta, oh, this is my name. This is my interest. Blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And I had an art class, and like I was just being dumb again. And I wrote it like I hate art. Like I don't like anything about art. Like I don't want to be in this class. I hate art. Wrote that on my paper, and my dad was pissed. I think it's karma. I think it's karma because everything I do now is art related. Like my whole field, everything is art related. My dad made me realize what I was saying, though I shouldn't have said. But I definitely made my art teacher down there really made her feel some type of way. Cause I hate art, like literally. Like I don't want to be in this class. And she was like sad.
Mm. Oh
Yeah,
no, you hurt her feelings.
That
I did.
that reminds me of Josh taking French in high school and not wanting to keep going with it, and I was kind of pushing him to go and keep doing it, and I made him buy his French teacher a Starbucks gift card to like apologize for being difficult in
Yeah, that was
French
definitely
class.
me.
I was being
Yeah.
a little shithead for sure, pissing her off and causing problems. But I'm grateful because it's funny because now I'm trying to catch back up with
Hmm.
French and learning a
Hmm.
language outside of English.
Yeah,
So
that's cool as hell.
I think that I don't know. Not that I'll ever necessarily need French for something, but I do think that there's a bonus in being able to speak another language and challenging yourself to that extent,
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. When you go like overseas, like bro, they respect you way more when you know how to speak their language, bro. Like
Mhm.
they
That's
respect you
absolutely
way more.
correct.
Mhm. That's a fact.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, maybe in Brennan's episode, where we're like the only country in the world that doesn't require a second language from the beginning.
Hmm.
And so, just even being over here right now, I feel stupid. It immediately signals you out as being
Hmm.
American because you don't know any other language. And so many of these people I'm running into while I'm traveling here, they don't just speak one, they speak two, three, four, five. Like it's pretty wild. But Judge, you've that French has come in handy when we've traveled. You've run into people and met people. So
For sure.
that's the beauty of having something that is different. Like Jodye, your ability to like think about art in a creative way gives you an opportunity to talk with people because that's fairly universal. Like
Yeah.
art is
No,
universal.
definitely.
And I
Yeah.
want to learn French too because um that's like the epicenter of fashion.
Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I want to be able to like be able to directly talk to them without
Mm-hmm.
having to have an interpreter or like, like boundaries because I'm not saying something that they're not understanding, or because I'm speaking English, they can understand it, and vice versa. So I definitely French is something I want to learn. That and Arabic.
Arabic.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Why
That's
Arabic?
yeah.
Well, I'm Muslim, so
Okay.
being
Right.
able
Right.
being able to just read our Quran, it's in Arabic, would be a big thing for me. So
Okay.
eventually, that's what I'm learning to do. Speak it, read Arabic, speak Arabic, Arabic and French.
Yeah. No,
Nice.
I seen the other day you hopped on the live with Kobe and you were at the mosque, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw that. That's funny.
Yeah.
How do you know Kobe? When did you guys meet?
When I was with Johnny, we went to what's the name of the store? The store that he worked at is like a
Arch
studio in it as
rivals?
well. Arch Rivals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we had went there. We just chopped it up, and I was showing him my clothes, and we just exchanged information.
Okay.
And now that we just be, you know, we don't talk every day, but keep in contact.
Shout out Chris. You met Il Chris?
I don't think I did. I don't
No.
think he was there.
Yeah, shout out Chris though. Arch Rivals is fire. They got a good studio and a lot of cool clothes there. Did
Yeah, they got
you
some.
you got to see their collection and stuff? Yeah, it's pretty fire little spot. Plus it's in a cool location. You got to kind of go. It's like you don't even know it's there unless somebody kind of points it out, because it's that little
Mm-hmm.
separate little doorway with the staircase up, but
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of a fire little spot.
Where is
Um,
Yeah, I
that?
like it.
Josh, where is that? Give us
downtown
describe.
Seattle, downtown
Okay.
Seattle. Yeah, so down near like Pike and stuff.
Got it.
But another question I had for you is, so how did your kind of passion for clothing and fashion translate into you creating your own brand and starting your own kind of clothing company?
Um, it happened like that wasn't what it was at first. Like it just happened like I won't say weirdly, but like it just kind of like morphed into itself. Like I said, when I
Mm,
was 12, my granny taught me how to sew, and I was just making stuff. Like I had these big ass sweats that my dad had, and this was when joggers was like popular. Like if you had joggers, like it was like so. And I
mm,
didn't have none at the time. I said, I'm gonna make me some. So I took them and I just wore them every day, every day, every day. I'm like, damn, I made these. So I kept wearing them till the strings start coming out, and they just start looking bad. The seams was popping and ripping. But
mm.
yeah, though. So then once I got my sewing machine, I just started doing that too, but on my own, like without my granny. And I had a machine instead of having to do it with my hands, so it came easier.
Mm.
So I would like get pants. I would go to the thrift store, get a bunch of clothes, cut them all up, reassemble them, or could make them in my own way. And my dad, he had like a bunch of clothes, like bags and bags and bags of clothes, like that separated from like his closet clothes. So shit, I would just go through his bags. And a big thing I was doing at the time was like taking cargo pants or shorts, cutting the pockets off the cargo pocket and putting them on different pants
Mm.
and jeans to the point where like it got bad. Like my dad was getting salty because he want to wear a certain type of shorts. He put them on as a fat ass hole in the back where the pocket was. So like, and then once I started getting to like ninth, 10th grade, I kept doing that. And then like my friends, they wanted to buy them. At first, I was just making them for me. And then they was taking them, and then I started making them for them. And they was like, "Bro, you should start selling clothes." So then I started selling it to them. I had a brand at first. It was called Fifth Wave, and I was taking
Mhm.
a bunch of vintage stuff and bleaching it. I was like spraying bleach over the shirts and acid washing them, and I was selling that too.
Kind of transitioned from that into Bravo Worldwide afterwards. You decided you were kind of
Well, no, so boom, I wanted to go to school for fashion. I want to go to a school called Kent State, but I didn't get accepted. So I had went to community college. And the fifth wave when I was spraying that was like eighth grade. And the joggers was like sixth grade. So now I'm in like fresh out of high school, I'm in college. I go to this community college. And my high school, I went to school for photography. I went to Cleveland Art School, Cleveland School of Arts. So I knew how to use Photoshop, but I didn't have it once I graduated. And this girl that also went to the community college, she told me like there's a computer lab that got all the computers and they got Photoshop whenever you're a student. You just put your student ID in. So once that happened, I went to the computer lab, did it, and I was able, from me knowing how to use Photoshop from taking pictures in high school, I started making clothes on Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
Like they was super, super, super ass. Like, cause I'm fresh, but it's okay. That's how you all start off. It's no big
Right.
deal. But yeah, so they were just really bad at first. But I was just in there all day, every day. I was skipping my classes to go to the computer lab to work on these clothes.
Yep. Yep.
And the name Bravo came from somebody really, really close to me. He passed away 3 years ago.
Hmm.
He got killed. His name was
Sorry to hear
Bravo.
that.
Yeah, his name is Bravo. Well, it's another Bravo. It's an older Bravo. It's the first Bravo, but he incarcerated, and then there was the next Bravo after him who had passed away. And I'm like, I gotta switch it in a different direction.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the name Bravo came from.
Word. That's fire.
I like
That's
that.
fire.
Hmm.
When you took photography, like rewind just a bit, sorry, I love photography. Um, was it all just digital that you were learning, or did you get a chance to work with film and do some actual like chemical processing and all that stuff?
Well, at first it was all digital.
Mm-hmm.
It was all digital because we had a photography teacher, but our photography teacher was an art teacher who was teaching photography.
Okay.
And then we had another teacher. He was like a really, really good photography teacher, but people weren't taking it serious. So he like, I don't want to be here if y'all not going to take it serious. So then he ended up quitting. And then we got another photography teacher. His name was Thornburg, Mr. Thornburg, and he like switched the whole department. And he was like really teaching us photography, like
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm.
basics of it, everything, ISO,
Yep.
all of that.
Shout out Mr. Thornburg.
Yeah, shout out to Thornburg. That's my dog. But he so it was all digital though. Literally all digital.
Okay.
And we had a film class, but it was all digital. But then my senior year, this is when I started to learn about film and I wanted to step into it. Unfortunately, we never did a chemical process and we didn't do any of that. I wish we would have, but we didn't. But Thornburg, he gave me his dad's film camera and told me to like practice with it and use it. So that
Yeah.
was my introduction into film,
That's
which is what I
fantastic.
shoot now.
Okay. I love that. That's about 20 years ago, my Joshua's dad's aunt and uncle were moving and they had a film camera that they were getting rid of. And I took it. It was an old Canon, and started shooting with film and ended up taking a class at Seattle Central, and did lab work. I had done it in high school and we'd had a dark room, and I love, love, love that kind of film and processing. And slide film. Have you ever shot on slide film?
No, I haven't. I've only
Okay.
shot on, here go my film camera right here. This is my 35 millimeter. And
Yeah.
then I have a medium format as well.
Oh,
I'm a
you
Mia.
do?
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if you ever get a chance, um, shooting on slide film is like a really, really, really good experience to learn,
Mm,
to perfect lighting, because it
okay.
has to be exactly accurate. There's no like fudging on it. And then
Hmm.
if you ever get a chance to do that and process that in a dark room, you can almost even set a dark room up in your own bathroom if you want to. You just need tubs and the chemical and then plastic out the door so there's no little bits of lights coming in. But you'll learn so much about getting that perfect lighting and looking
Hmm.
for the perfect lighting. That for me, that was the class that like got me so interested in photography.
Apologies, guys. Lost a little bit of connection there, but we're back at it. Mom's in a whole nother country right now. So the
Yeah.
I mean, we're all three in. 3 completely different time zones.
Yeah,
I'm
we
in
are.
Yes.
Seattle. Jody's in Cleveland. Mom, you're overseas, so it's crazy.
Yep.
But you were saying, Mom?
Yeah, anyway, well, we were just talking about film and how cool it is. But Jody, I was taking a peek at your Instagram, and there's a picture in front of some big artwork.
Mm.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. Did I want a suit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's right.
Mm.
I just was wondering where that was at. Like the art got my attention there. That was like a cool
That
picture.
was at our museum. It's like one of the
Okay.
few good things we actually got here.
All
So
right.
that's in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's our Cleveland Museum.
Fire.
Nice.
I go there all the time. It's free to get in, so I just go there, do some work, read or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's very cool. If you ever get a chance to make it out to DC, you know, all the Smithsonian's are out there and those are all free as well, which is really, really cool. A ton of amazing art and things to see out there as well.
Yeah, I was in DC like a month ago, but I wasn't. I went too
Oh,
late, so I
okay.
wasn't able to look at any exhibit.
Mm.
Oh,
It was like,
that's a
yeah,
bummer.
you gotta like schedule it online, but it is free, but you just gotta make an
Yeah.
appointment. And it was around gonna be too late by the time I got there.
Heard you. Yeah, I went. When did we go? I went with Mom for the first time to DC like a couple months ago, and we got to go see some of the
Yeah, it might have been a little more
Smithsonian's.
than that.
Which ones did we go to?
Mm, the American history one, the history of the natural history,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
right. With all
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
like dinosaurs and all that.
Mm.
Yeah, all the fake
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
the fake dino. Yeah, we went to a couple of them. DC's cool though. There's a lot of stuff you can see there.
I actually had another question. I'm going to pipe in here for a second
All right, go
too.
for it.
Jody, what is your like focus of your fashion at this point? Like what is your favorite style of clothing that you're leaning into or looking to create?
Um, more like prep, more like preppy.
Oh, okay.
Button ups, suits, slacks, ties. Like, 'cause that's okay. My brand now is what it is, and it's good. But I, I wanted to mature into more of a
Mm,
high end. So I'm just like experimenting with it now. Nothing too crazy. Making like button ups, and I just got a bunch of fabric, and I've never made a button up from scratch. I haven't made much lately, but that's like my goal is to like
okay.
make this button up. Yeah, as far as like my favorite, like that's what, cause like that's what I wear. I wear slacks. I wear dress shoes. Of course, I wear like regular shoes and sneakers, but that's just what I wanted to mature into. So
Mm,
I'm just like dipping
Okay.
my feet into it right now. But that's what I'm enjoying a lot.
it's fire.
And when you're doing that, when you're creating a piece, do you typically do you deassemble something and then work from there, or do you create your own like patterns?
Well, I'm not creating patterns right now. But as far as not like real fashion patterns, that's why I have to learn that next. Like that's it's all a bunch of steps, but that's one of the steps that's gonna lead me to there that I need to learn. As far as like I'm like making like I would say not ghetto isn't like a black thing, but like I'm doing like a hoodie that I like, and I'm like, okay, I know I want it to be a little wider here, so I got my measuring tape and I'll add a few inches. Or I got a hoodie that I really like, but I wanted the waist to be smaller or bigger. Then I take
Mm,
uh measuring tape and make it smaller. So as far as patterns, I'm not making any patterns, but that's how I'm figuring out my measurements.
got it.
And I don't know how to
Okay.
draft a pattern from like start, but I know how to draft a pattern from just using like a piece of clothing you already got.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's
Mm,
definitely the next steps that I want to get into.
fire.
Very cool.
Um, where do you kind of see your clothing brand and I guess your progression / career within the fashion industry moving over, say, the next 5-10 years? Like, where do you kind of see things being in 5 to 10 years?
Mm, okay, 5 years. I'm 22. I'll be 27. Definitely by that time, I want to be a lot more knowledgeable in fashion. Because it's an easy thing to get into now, easy, quote unquote, but it's not. So everything now is just like learning
Yeah,
and setting the base. Like everything now is focused on learning. So in 5 years, I'm hoping that I'm still learning, but all this learning that I'm doing now is paid off by
fair
five
enough.
years. Because once I get to like 27, 30, it's like, okay, now it's time to, hopefully I do it way before. But like there, it's like, okay, now, you're having a show in Paris, you're having a show in New York, you're having a show here. I'm hoping that by that time that I'm doing shows, doing
Mm,
exhibits, I want to be doing that within the next 3 to 4 years. But
sure.
by 5 years, I'm hopefully that's where it's at.
So who's your like fashion inspiration at this point, or who's what when you think about like designers that you like or fashion houses, um, who are you into?
Mm, I'm in a few, but it's for like their own reason. Like Margiela, Lisa Margiela, that's my one of my favorite ones, top, really my number one. But then you got a brand named General Public, who from Columbus. Are you familiar? Are y'all familiar with Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a designer from Columbus. I'm real cool. Like me, I'm cool as hell. Like bro, I'll call him right now. But he got a brand, and he started before me, ahead of me. But like, it's not the biggest brand. Like, got like 7,000 followers. But the community that he built for his brand is like ridiculous. Like people who got like 10, 20, 30, 40,000 followers for their brand page, but don't have no community. Like
Mm,
Sure.
he got a real community. Like they talk to each other. If you see somebody wearing GP, General Republic is the name of the brand, but they call it GP. It's like they on some damn. You got GP? I got GP too. Let's take a picture together. But he a local. I got a phone call. Yo, every my fault. Let me put my phone on Do Not
No,
Disturb.
you're good. You're
I
good.
just
You're
didn't get
good.
that.
It's happened a couple times throughout the podcast. Even for me, I got a phone call and I had to turn on Do Not Disturb. That
Yeah.
mm.
it's the little shit, man. We're the hosts. We're supposed to know this shit, man. We're supposed to be like, yo, Jody, turn your phone on Do Not Disturb so motherfuckers don't be calling you. But
Was good
I
in the early
slacked. I'm not
stages.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie,
Cool,
but
man.
That's
it's
all
good.
Hey,
right.
We
like I was
cruising.
saying though, damn, where was I even at?
You was
Yeah, well, you were talking about
Oh
community
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like the fashion brand.
So I, I don't want to focus too much on him, but just um to wrap it up. But his brand has a real community. Like, bro, he got.
Mm.
You ever heard of brand ambassadors?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like brand ambassador, like yeah, use my promo code. Boom, boom, boom. No, he got real life people who real life sell his clothes. Like you got a dude in Columbus named Nard, just like he my age. The dude who owned a brand a little older, he's like 27. But Nard will get orders on his clothes and sell them for him. Like people think it's his brand. Like he don't even want to be a face. He just want to make clothes.
Hmm.
And it's another dude here in Cleveland named Noon. He sell clothes for him in Cleveland. Like that's some real community stuff to want to sell somebody else clothes with the community he made around it. And that's why when going back to what we were saying about the designers and stuff, that's when it's like, damn, like he just built a community of authenticity, which is hard to find now in the field that we in because it's just so oversaturated. I'm not like
Yeah.
not like talking
Yeah.
down on anybody, just speaking from like a reality standpoint. It's hard to find authentic product.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually, because there is so much of that out there with Instagram and these different
Hmm.
social media where, they get people to promote, but they're not really people that are super into the brand or don't really care.
Yeah.
They're just kind of using them for a numbers game. If you could decide for yourself what it would look like for you, would you want to be like, I guess maybe smaller, but like super kind of niched out in like the clothing brand, or would you want to be kind of global and worldwide?
No, I wanna be. I ain't gonna lie, I wanna be like big as hell.
Okay.
Like,
All
like,
right, all right.
like seriously, like doing the fashion weeks. I don't have a store in Japan. I don't have a store in Paris. I don't have a
Mm,
store in Amsterdam, Australia. I don't have a store all over.
got
I
it.
want to be super, super, super big. But just because you get big don't mean like you have to change the morals of your company.
For sure.
Right.
You
So
still want it to be high end. You still want it to be very unique and, very kind of condensed to like the vision you have for the fashion, right?
yeah, it's like I was saying before, it's gonna like mature. I don't know how to, like we were saying before, draft a pattern to a sweater.
Mm.
Like,
Hmm.
and I could figure it out to get it made, but it's like it's maturing, it's growing. As I'm growing, my brand growing, you're gonna notice. Like the more I learn, the more I'm gonna be able to produce, and the more I'm gonna be able to make at a higher quality. And
Hmm.
that's where it's going. Like I just wanted to go like that to just grow with it.
Yeah, I feel like,
Yeah.
well, go ahead, Mom. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say we were talking a little bit before the podcast started about traveling and how you were going to be going to France, to Paris, and then the pandemic. Another place that you would maybe be super interested in, just talking about that kind of growth and learning, would be potentially Thailand. A lot of brands produce a lot of their clothes there. And so there's a
Yeah.
lot of really, really good seamstress people and like custom designs that they will do. And it's pretty interesting because you can show up and they have tailors everywhere and they will make you a custom suit like overnight, like 2 days, and they have beautiful fabrics. But what's really cool about that is that they can make just about anything that way and they're doing it all off of the measurements. So just thinking about that concept of like creating patterns and being able to learn that kind of next step, that's a really, really, you might find that a super interesting place to be
Mm,
as well, just from exposure and learning.
for sure. Yeah, Thailand's dope. Have you ever thought about visiting Thailand?
Yeah, Thailand cool as hell. I got a friend, he just all he do is travel. Like like literally all he do is travel. You ever see him, he's somewhere else. He was in Thailand taking pictures in my clothes.
Hey,
Nice.
hey, that's lit.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, I think Thailand. I think there's a lot of creative places around the world. Speaking of like fashion and like clothing and stuff, you go there and it's like it's a whole different energy that's like revolving around like the clothing and the fashion that people are wearing. I was talking to Mom about this before the podcast, and obviously you know this, but you go to Paris or you go to Italy or certain spots in Asia, Japan, whatever,
Hmm.
fashion is very like universal. It's like a way of life for these people, like, and obviously in the States, people take fashion very seriously too, but I almost feel like in certain countries it's more prevalent and like recognized. Like when you have this high end clothing on, or this unique brand that you're wearing, people are far more inclined to like uh, I guess approach you or like converse about it. But I mean, maybe that's just my perspective, obviously. I definitely think that clothing and fashion is a very universal kind of statement and a way to be able to communicate, or uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like represent yourself, or not represent,
No,
um, But
No, I
No, I
did.
think that would be
express.
accurate.
I was gonna say express yourself.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I mean, shit, that's how I met you because I make clothes.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna meet all type of people from all over the world, and we got Instagram, which really is the best tool out there.
For sure.
Like people talk down social media, social media, social media, blah blah blah. Is what you doing with it. There's people making millions of dollars from Instagram.
Yeah.
There's people connecting
Mm-hmm.
with people through Instagram. Like that's the best thing that you got as a tool, as anything really. Like if your job have any substance, like social media is a priority in some people's jobs now. But that's how I met. Like I know this lady from Vietnam. Met her
Mm.
through Instagram off some clothes. We just started talking about clothes.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of my relationships now are clothing based. So
Yeah.
like you were saying, you're right. There's a big connector with people. It's clothes. We all wear clothes. You got some cool clothes. You gonna say, damn, his fit kind of hard. You might ask him, what is it? You not know he a designer and he make clothes. Now y'all connected and talking about clothes.
Yeah.
A
Nah,
lot
for
of my
sure.
Yeah.
relationships were formed from clothes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, I was just going to say that is such a big part of the way that everybody connects at this point. It's for me, it's interesting because I was when I was your guys' age, that didn't exist. So this concept that
Social
you
media
can meet,
or oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
social
yeah.
media, yeah, just the access to the world and people around the world, being on Instagram and meeting somebody that's in Vietnam and connecting over clothes, like that was non existent. So it's really incredible to watch that unfold for you guys and the way that you meet people. Like even Jodye, just hearing about how you met Brennan and then how you've met Jesh, that was not that availability to meet people and branch outside of your like neighborhood and your city and where you've grown up was non-existent. So it's pretty cool to watch you guys like use it in that way and make those kind of connections. It really does open up so much opportunity in so much of the world to you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, yeah, and I mean, like you said, Jodye, I would have never met you if Brennan hadn't DM'd you and hadn't, reached out and you guys connected and then who's to say like the fact that you came out to Seattle after just talking to bro via, DMs on IG and stuff, it's a cool factor. It's a whole nother level of networking and being able to open up new doors and opportunities, like Mom said. So I think it's a really useful tool. I think it's like you said though, Jodye. I think it's all about how you use it. And a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
times, social media can be maybe a negative influence or whatever for people. But I think overall, if you choose to use it in the right way, it can be a very beneficial tool for most people. So
No, yeah, for sure. It's been most beneficial for me.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had somebody just DM me about some clothes. Like, so many connections and so many places I've been is through Instagram.
yeah. I got a.
It's very cool.
I got one more question, and then I think we should probably wrap it up here soon. It's around an hour, but um, we got one question that we like to ask guests we bring on. Um, And that question being, just as the principle of our podcast, what is the stupidest shit that you ever did that you didn't tell your mom about? You got anything?
Mm,
It's so funny to watch people's faces when we ask
It
this.
always throws them off because it's like, what the fuck? But
mm,
we'd be asking people this. We've asked Brennan, JD, anyone else we have
stupidest
Yeah.
shit
on.
I ever did.
Anything that you can think of from, I mean, now to when you were younger that you did that you may have never told your mom about.
Mm, I don't know. Can I tell you some of the stupidest shit I ever did that I did tell my mom eventually tell my mom about?
God, you guys are all so honest.
Yeah,
Every one of you is like, yeah, I've told my mom this. I love it. Go for it.
yeah. I just can't really think of nothing I never told my anything dumb. 'Cause I always got called
What's
for it.
what's the stupidest shit you did tell your mom then?
All right, so
Yeah.
in high school, I had this friend. She had her own apartment, so we would always go over there. And one time we was like, she about to have like this little party, and we all gonna spend the night.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a girlfriend. Everybody was bringing their girlfriends. So my mom, she was just like real big on like, you not going nowhere until I talk to their parents. Like you can't spend the night nowhere unless I talk to their parents. So I got one of my friends to act like they was somebody's mom. And my mom, she like, bro, that was not no kid. I'm like, I'm telling you, it was. It was a kid. I'm telling you. I mean, it wasn't no kid. It was her parent. My mom like, bro, that sound like a kid. I'm like, I'm telling you. So then she just let me go. And then I'm telling her, she's like, I knew that was a fucking kid. Like, why would you even lie and say it wasn't? I was tripping, but I wanted to go. I mean, shit, I wasn't missing that.
Nah, I feel it, bro. That's some shit I don't even, man, I couldn't even think of a specific occasion, but I guarantee there's some times where I probably had one of my homies ring you up and like act like they were, oh, this is Mr. Johnson calling for
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's conning. That's some shit for sure. But
Yeah, that was
I
dumb as
feel like
hell.
I feel like that's a classic move. I mean, I'm probably dating myself with this, but if y'all have seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
of
Mm-hmm.
Jody,
course,
have you seen that? Yeah,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Okay, good. I mean, same thing in there,
Where the
right?
friend
Where his
called the
girlfriend.
principal. Yeah.
Yes, yes. When Joshua's oldest sister was in high school, I did some subbing for the school district, and I got assigned to her high school office at one point and to work a day. And I went ahead and looked in her file, and there had to have been at least a handful of like notes signing her out of class that were written supposedly by me and signed by me, but it was not me.
That's
And
the
so,
classic.
yeah.
Used to have the homies sign off on the paper to get you dismissed from class and shit.
See, I was doing
That's
that for
going.
report cards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Shoot.
boy.
That's good. Yeah, that one too.
No,
Yeah,
but
no, I love that. You can't miss a good party. And
Mm-mm.
when you have a mom like your mom, and I also did that, where you're like, no, I got to talk to the parents.
if
Yeah,
we're if we're
everywhere.
if we're being honest, your mom's probably knew. She was just like, oh, I'm not dealing with this right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
She
We
probably knew.
usually know.
Yeah.
I think she did. She's let me experiment.
But yeah, guys. I mean, Jody, we appreciate you coming on, bro. It
I
was it was
appreciate you for
awesome
having me.
talking to you and just hearing some more of your story. I see your brand succeeding. I see you, you know, leaps and
Yeah,
bounds ahead. Couple years down the road, you're gonna have a big old brand that everybody's gonna know, bro. I believe that.
I
So
hope so, man. I can't wait to come back to this and see
yeah,
that. Be in
we're
my
gonna
documentary.
Yeah.
we're gonna come back and we're gonna do another episode where we look back at this and we're like, damn, bro's up now. So
I'm excited.
um
I can't wait.
Yeah.
yeah, so we appreciate y'all. Anybody listening, go tap in with Jody. Bravo Worldwide. You want to shout out your platforms?
Yeah, Jody Bravo on Instagram, Jodye, Bravo Bravo, and Bravo Worldwide.
Yep. So if y'all want some
Nice.
fire clothing, go tap in with our boy. Obviously, if you enjoyed this episode and you're listening on Spotify, Apple, rate the podcast, please. It means a lot to us.
Yes.
5 stars. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you found something interesting or you want a specific guest or you want to hear about anything specific, make sure to drop a comment. It's
Yeah.
always good for us so we can see what y'all want to hear. So
Yeah, Jody, it was really great to meet you.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing where your journey takes you and watching your brand take off. It's pretty cool. I love watching you guys have visions for your future and, you know, pursuing those. That's fire. How's that?
She said that's fire. Nah, real talk. We appreciate you, Jodye, and
I appreciate y'all
we'll
for
have to
having me.
get another episode in the future, kind
I'm
of
down.
For sure.
catching up and seeing where things are at. But
I'm down.
as for now,
Yeah, and you got to reschedule that trip to Paris.
real talk.
That's on the list. Believe me.
Yeah.
Thinking about November.
November.
Nice.
Let's go. Anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode and enjoy the rest of your week. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Don't do stupid shit. Deuce.